If you don't know me by now, you will never, never, never know me. Ooh, that's Barry talking to his mama. If you don't know me by now, mama, you will never, never, never know me. Ooh. What's up, y'all? This is Ty. How you doing? You know what I'm here for. I am here to review episode 19 of Ty. Why I gotta do all that? I don't know. I'm here to review episode 19 of Tyler Perry's comedy, drama, soap opera, The Oval. Before I do that, let me get my shout outs. Y'all know how I like to shout my people out because y'all keeping this little channel running. That would be Simply Be Yourself 100, Deshaun Jenkins, Miss Always Bless, Randall Brown, DB, Tia Divine, June, Atif, Penny, Francesca Richardson. We have a new subscriber, RC Cougar, something like that. He has his own channel. He's reviewing American Soul on BET. Who else? And my friend Joy Miranda, who I deal with on Rizzle, which is another app where I do like 30-second videos and things like that. We have collaborated. Shout outs to Joy. We've collaborated. We do it on Rizzle, but what she's done is she's created a YouTube channel now, and I'm going to link it down below in the comments section, down below, and the description. And we do karaoke and different songs. It's a collaboration. I'm going to show you the video that we did, one of the videos. Well, I'm not going to show you. It's going to be down in the description, so you can check that out when you get a chance. All right, so let's get right into episode 19. Like I said, Barry and his mama Nancy, they not seeing eye to eye. Last week, she asked him to tell her the truth. Tell me the truth, boy. You better tell me. And so he told her, yeah, I did it. I killed her. He said he killed his baby mama. So now this episode, she goes, what did you say? And I was confused because Nancy, when he told you he didn't do it the first time, you said, you better tell me the truth. So now he's telling you what you want to hear. So he said, I did it. And now you're like, what did you say? Boy, don't play with me. So then you know that he didn't kill her. Or like, I'm confused because it was like last week when he said he didn't do it, you better tell me the truth, boy. So now he's telling you what you want to hear because you think he did it. So he said, fine, I did it. Well, boy, what did you say? Don't play with me. So he said, what's the lie? You're saying this, you're saying that, you believe this, you believe that. I'm kind of on his side with that. And, she gave him that mama slap. Don't you play with me, boy. And you better tell me the truth. So he tells her, I didn't hurt her. I didn't touch her. And then they get into this whole weird conversation where she says to him, well, I thought it was stupid. What she was saying was stupid. The questions that Nancy was asking. So do you blame me? Let's see. You had my child, and you let someone who did not have custody of the child's mother, and her cult come in and take the child when I specifically told you not to let her near the child. He said even the daycare know not to let her near Callie. I think the daughter's name is Callie. Even the daycare knows not to let Ruth near Callie. But you, Christian Bible thumping you let her in. So, yes, of course he blames you. And then she's like, I feel guilty and I regret it. But then she was giving him attitude. I didn't understand that. So she was like, I regret it, but who are you? And is this what caused all of this and all your behavior? I thought that was a dumb question, Nancy, because yes, that's what caused it all. Hello, my child is missing. Hello, my girlfriend is screwing the man in the pharmacy who I can't stand, and I see it. I snap. Stop asking him stupid questions. That was a stupid Nancy, that was a stupid question. And then she went into this whole thing. That's what I said. If you don't know him by now, I don't know. You don't know your own son. Then she's like, who are you? And he said, I'm your son. And she's like, oh, no, who I raised was kind, gentle, and you know what that meant? And soft. Why did that remind me of? Did y'all see the help? You is kind, you is precious, you is beautiful. Whatever they said in the help, that's what that reminded me of. She just annoyed me. I thought everything she said was stupid because I'm like, listen, all that he's been through, this of course his child is missing, and she just like, you until you understand, like just the way she was going off on him was really annoying. And he said, okay, put me back in my cell, I don't want to see her no more. And she's like, the only reason I came down here was because your father told Nancy, you shouldn't have came down there because your whole conversation was just off to me. Like, I get it, you're frustrated too, and you're disappointed in him, but at the same time, don't you have a brain? Don't you use your common sense? I think you should know why your child is flipping out the way he is. His child is missing, and he's thinking at this time that the baby's mother is dead. So, and he don't know what this Cole is doing with his child. So, cut him a little bit of slack. Please cut him a little bit of slack. I don't know. So anyway, Nancy goes back to the hospital. She tells her husband what happens, but she doesn't mention, she kind of glosses over it, but she does eventually tell her husband why Barry crashed his car through the pharmacy. It was old because he saw Sharon getting screwed and getting done in real good, and it made him snap. So even the father was like, oh, I could understand. You know how he gets when he's in love. And here go Nancy. He ain't in love. Nancy, you got on my nerves tonight. I don't know, I just thought that was stupid. Just your whole thing was just annoyed me. I understand you're a mother and all that, but just this, you're so upset with him. But you gotta think, look at what he's been through. That's why he's behaving the way he's behaving. So, I mean, come on. What else happened? We go to Sharon and the pharmacist. They got on my nerves. I guess everybody got on my nerves tonight, huh? They got on my nerves with this whole, no, you stay, and I'm going to go get home. No, you stay. I'll wait for the... Listen, somebody stay so they can put the glass in here and repair this. And that's that, The First Lady was on it today. The First Lady wasn't playing. She saw Sam and his wife flirting with each other, and she came in there and made some comments, and she was acting funny. I thought that scene was interesting and funny. But one of my favorite scenes was the First Lady and the President. He's got to get rid of that mattress that old Denise's pieces bled to death on, and your head cut off and all that. He got to get rid of all of that. And she said she was surprised that he was able to put that mattress in there by himself. And, they got into their little banter. And he said something to her, and she told him to grow up. And he said, I wish I was 5. I wish I could go back in time to... No, she said something like, what are you, 5? And he said, I wish I was, so I could go back in time and never meet you. And she said, well, yeah, and I never meet you and have any of these kids. I said, these people really hate each other. And then she said something like, and he said, yeah, you would be with Marvin. So I guess Marvin is the love of her life, who she really wants to be with. Are we going to get some backstory on that? I would like to meet good old Marvin. Let Marvin pop up. Let's have Marvin pop up. Let's stir some things up in this White House. And she mentioned something about herself being horny, and he was like, don't flatter yourself. And she said, don't you flatter yourself. You think I'm going to mess with you after you've been sleeping with that dead whore? And he said, you whores don't know your place. You always trying to down another whore. So he's basically calling her a whore too. Very disrespectful. Totally disrespectful. That was crazy. And the First Lady is on it today, though. Then we see her get on good old Donald. And she's asking Donald questions. And she says, have you met my parents? When did you talk to them? You sure? Do you talk to them? And he started asking questions back. And she's like, when you ask questions back, you're kind of guilty or whatever have you. And she says, I don't like you. And she said, you know why? It's probably because you sleep with men and you're not living in your truth. She basically told him you need to come out the closet. She said, you're in the closet. Why? This day and age, you still in the closet, dude? She's like, come on. And she just kept picking at him because, y'all know Donald's situation. And she's like, why can't you come out? What's the problem? So she pretty much blackmails him because she's like, listen, you want that secret to stay in, then you're going to give me the briefings on everything because the president is dumb as well. I don't know what. Just give me his briefings and I will go over them. You will keep me abreast of what's going on at all times. And he was not really feeling that, but she told him, unless you want me to tell you a little secret. That's basically what she did. Because at first he tried to get slick at the mouth. He was like, well, you don't have clearance for that. She said, just say thank you. Because she's like, thank you that I'm not going to tell you a little secret. Your secret's going to be safe with me. So listen, do as I say. So she's got Donald where she wants him. Donald was so pissed off. He told his boyfriend, what's his name again? Kyle. He told Kyle about him. Kyle, he said, she had the nerve to tell me to come out the closet. That B-I-T-C-H. And Kyle thought he was talking about Lily at first. He said, oh, that when he said that B-I-T-C-H. Kyle was like, oh, I knew I should have killed. He said, not her, the first lady. She want me to come out the closet. He was like, hey. He said, don't start, Kyle. Then he said, she wants me to brief her. He said, listen, do what she says. Brief her. Do what she says. And you know what? Play along, Donald. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. All right. On to Barry. Barry is learning some things now. He's learning that old Ruth is not dead. And y'all told me this last week anyway. You guys let me know that. Thank you for that because y'all watch Ruthless, that other show. Ruth ain't dead. That body wasn't hers. There's some animal blood, so that knife is no longer a murder weapon. The only charges Barry still faces, are the attack on the pharmacy. That's it. What else? They're pinning this whole thing on the whole car and gun thing. They're pinning it on Picky, which is Barry's cousin. So the detective pretty much tells Barry, listen, you got to explain what's going on. You got to, tell me what happened. Did you give your car to Picky? And Barry's like, no, I didn't. He's like, again, I'm trying to help you. Did you give your car to Picky? So they're putting everything down on Picky. Are we going to get a funeral for Picky? I think Picky deserves a funeral since this poor man, yes, he was a drug dealer, but now he was murdered. And we just putting all this crime on his name that he didn't commit and things he didn't do. I think he deserves a funeral. Can we see a funeral? I don't know. Anyway, there's also this large amount of cash that they found on Barry. And the detective asked Barry about that. And he's like, it's not mine. And then when he tells Barry, well, you can be bailed out, but you could be bailed out with that money. Then Barry's like, oh, yeah, that is my money. So he's answering that, which was smart because he does want to get out of there. So now Barry knows that Ruth is not dead. He knows that, Ruth is not dead. He knows that he's not being charged with the other thing, with the other murder, because they pinning that whole thing, the car, the shooting, all on Picky. So he goes along with that. Now, here's the crazy thing, y'all. Did y'all catch how the pharmacist was telling Sharon how, for some reason, insurance is not going to cover this car running through his pharmacy and that they want Barry to pay for this? And she says, Barry ain't got no money. And he said, oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Trust me. And he goes on to tell her the same story that Barry said about him, that he was this drug dealer and he's got all this money. He was working for Picky. And so she's like, no, that's not true. And she said, I don't believe that. And she said, but Barry said the same thing about you. So now who's lying on who? I think the pharmacist is lying. I think he's lying. He has to be. Or something is weird. Or was Picky playing both? Like, that doesn't make sense for Picky to just tell his cousin to tell Barry that pharmacist was doing that if that pharmacist wasn't doing that. So I think the pharmacist is lying. I think he is doing some shady practices. That's what I think about that. Now let's get to what was supposed to be this big thing that happened in tonight's episode. They hyped it up in the commercials, and I'm a little pissed off because you see the alarms went off, and the first lady was being funny, and she said she wasn't going to move, and Sam grabbed her and put her in the bunker, and there was nothing in her bunker but a couch and nice little lamp, same lamp I have in my living room. And they put the president in his bunker, and he has his desk and his flags there. I don't know why you need that, but I guess you need that I don't know, in this bunker. And they're trying to figure out what happened. Come to find out, somebody done climbed the fence. Somebody has infiltrated the White House, so now they have drones flying over or something like that, and they got to check every room and all this stuff. And this was a very funny scene between Kyle and the president, because the president said to him, you know, are you an ass man or a booze man? What kind of man are you, like, with, like, because he's telling him, listen, don't get married and all this other stuff. What kind of dude are you now? We know that Kyle is gay, but the president doesn't know it. And I thought it was hilarious, kind of tongue in cheek, how he's like, oh, I'm an ass man. And he's trying to ask him, who does he like and all that, and who you messing around with. And he said, oh, I'm messing around with Donald. And of course the president laughed, because, you know, he thinks that he's joking. So I thought that was funny right there. But they hyped this up like we were going to get this big thing that happened, and nothing really happened. And so First Lady's in her bunker with Sam, and they have a conversation, and Sam's letting her know, yes, your children are okay, and your husband is okay. And this triggered her, 'cause she's like, oh, you judging me. You said that trying to be funny, because you feel like I should have asked about my children and my husband first. And she's like, you're judging me, aren't you? What would Barbara do? What would Michelle do? Referring to Michelle Obama and Barbara Bush. And like, she just kind of got defensive or whatever. She said, you know, you think I'm a bitch, don't you? She said, well, I'm kind of misunderstood. And then she started asking questions about what are they going to do now. And he said, well, they're going to check every room and make sure everything is okay. And she's like, every room? She don't want them to go in her bedroom to find the blood and the mattress and all that stuff. And she's like, she's kind of giving it away. And he's like, what are you talking about? Why are you so anxious? And so then we see, I forget his name, going into that room, and he's checking under the beds and all of that. And he checked under the bed of the First Lady and the President's bed, and he pulls up the rug, and he sees the blood. And that's where the episode ends. So, yeah, it was a decent episode, but the way they hyped up that drone thing, I thought we was going to get some crazy action, because y'all know what I like. I like for it to be over the top and crazy so I can laugh my head off, but we didn't get that. But we are moving a little long now. We're learning now. We're learning some things. We know that Ruth ain't dead, so now we got to figure out how Barry's going to find his daughter. We also going to see how they're going to play this whole thing out about, you know, now that someone else knows about the blood in the room and all of that. And, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think there was something else I wanted to know. Oh, and who is the drug dealer? Is it Barry, or is it the boy in the pharmacy? Where did that money come from? Those are still questions we have. But that's all I have for now. And if I forgot something, you can put it in the comments below like you always do. And do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share. And if you have any suggestions of anything you want me to cover or anything you want me to do, let me know. I know I keep saying this, when I get the time, I'm going to start doing more videos on other things as well. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell their friends. Let's get this channel growing. And I will see you in the next video. You all be blessed. I am out.